When you know what you want, you know the lifestyle that you're trying to build, and you really start trying to do the work and you realize that it is so much to be done, it is almost instant for the overwhelm to set in. And I get asked all the time, Basti, how do you do it all? So today we're gonna dive in and I'm gonna tell you exactly how you can handle it all and still get everything that you want. Because it's 3 weeks into the third quarter of you chasing your milestones, COVID is still impacting lives, our economy is in major distress, and all the things that are still happening in your personal life as if you already don't have enough on your plate. With all the different moving pieces happening in our world right now, when you're trying to build your business and create a new life for what you really want to experience while you're on this side of heaven, it can feel like complete overwhelm. And that kind of overwhelm can leave you stuck. It can leave you procrastinating and pushing things off, or you sit down and you're working, but you're not working on the right things to get you there. And then something happens with the family, something happens with the car, and it just throws all things off. And it's time out for that, because this is a season where we truly need to be anchored and laser focused on what really matters and able to handle it so that we can keep moving things forward, so that you can keep building the business, that you can keep building the life that you really want to show up in. So we're going to dive into 4 steps that you can do. It turned to 4 just a second ago. We're going to dive into 4 steps that you can do to make sure that you can handle it all to get what you really want out of this life. Here we go. Welcome to Vasti TV, where we own our story, ignite our business, and live our legacy now. I'm Vasti, and if you are a solopreneur who's ready to build the life that you really love and lead the business that is a thriving, profitable brand, then you've landed in the right place. Now make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you're the first to know when we are serving up goodness that's gonna help you do exactly that. The first thing that has to happen is what I call a values purge. Your values are the things that are most important to you. They're like the guardrails by which you live your life by. And you have to know exactly what they are so that you know the kind of lifestyle that you're really striving to create. See, oftentimes we think that this is all about building the business and having a crazy, profitable, successful business. And yes, that's all great. But that is only a tool to get you to the place of being able to live life on your terms and do what it is you truly desire. And when you know what those values are, then you need to purge everything that does not align. Everything that will pull you out of sync with living for what you know is most important to you in your heart, it needs to be cut off. And I use the word purge because even when I think about us purging our closets for spring cleaning, you're going through and you're getting rid of stuff. Some stuff you may give to the friend down the street because maybe they have a little one that's smaller than yours, or a sister friend who is about the same size as you are. You just give that away. But then there's some stuff that you just want to take to the Goodwill because that's just the best place for it. And that part of the purge process kind of takes a process, because you have to get that in the car and figure out when's the best time. Can I leave and go do that right now? Should I do it later? It involves a few more steps. And there is some purging from your values that will require a few more steps, because there are some people that you need to purge. Yeah. There are some places that you need to purge from where you spend your time right now. And there are definitely some places within yourself that you need to purge about how you think, about how you operate when you're in your own home space that does not align with the values for the kind of lifestyle that you want to create. So out the gate, knowing exactly what you want, you have to know your values with that so that you can have up the guardrails that'll keep you on that path to actually building what it is that you want to experience for your life. because then that also impacts how you build your business structure. So get your purge ready. Go through your life and figure out what does not align with my values, with what I say is most important about how I live my life, and get rid of it today. That's step one. So here we go with step two. Now you have to get clear about what your focus tasks are. What are the tasks that are actually going to get you to the place of creating that vision that you set out for? You know exactly what you want. You've made sure that your values are in alignment with getting you there. Now, exactly what is it that you need to do to make that happen? And this is a space where I hear so many solopreneurs start spinning their wheels because they are doing all the things. They're listening to the latest, greatest guru about how they should build their business, and they end up just spinning on a hamster wheel. And so they're doing a lot, but it's not focused because it's not doing the things that really matter to move your business forward so that you can keep your life intact. When you get really clear about your focus task, you will be able to build your business with systems and processes in a time frame and window that works for you, while also making sure that you keep going to the gym, that you're eating healthy because you're actually having time to cook your food, that you are actually nurturing your faith walk and spending time in your word. Too often, we're finding ourselves where you are sacrificing all this over here to build this business. And this is a day where it is just your timing, where you get to understand that that's not how this goes. That's not how you do this. You have to get clear about exactly what you need to focus on in your business to make sure that it is focused, laser time, energy, and effort. And when you do that, you begin to make space in your business work, and so that you can actually live and build the rest of your life. So it is vitally important that you get clear about what tasks do you need to really focus on that's going to move your business forward. And I'll give you a hint. Those tasks are usually tied to something that's going to make you money. Get focused on the right things. Hearing and knowing what to focus on is definitely vital, but it's not going to get you there with handling your whole life in the midst of building a business that seems like its own separate entity. You also will have to enforce boundaries. That's step number 3. Boundaries are vital in your process of actually making those focus tasks matter, of actually keeping your values in alignment. If you're going to do all these different things, build your business, lead a family, make sure the kids are okay, keep the money right in the personal life while also bringing it in the business, if you're going to move all these pieces, then you have to have boundaries. That is a great shift that has to happen if you're going to shift your life into a new dimension. So when I think about boundaries, I want you to go with me and I want you to think about your time. And I don't mean just having a schedule. I mean you actually committing to, this is a time that I'm going to dedicate to my business each day per week, and these are my hours. If these are my office hours, then everything else outside of that that's not an emergency, it's a non-negotiable. I can't help you right now. I can't answer my phone right now. No, I can't have a 45-minute conversation with you about something that just happened because I'm at work. So having boundaries around office hours time, and even within those office hours, setting yourself up to do what I like to call my 90-minute sprints. And it's where I block off 90 minutes, and for those 90 minutes, I'm focused on one task. And I focus on it until it is done. Now, if I don't finish it at 90 minutes, it rolls over to the next block, unless I have something else more pressing that I have to get to. You have to put boundaries around your time. You also have to put boundaries around your availability. Like the word no is actually a complete sentence. And it is a muscle that you will have to learn to exercise like no other. And granted, there are hundreds of different ways that you can say no, but your mission and focus has to be being able to say it so that you stay in alignment with what it is that you really want to build, where you really want to go in this life. You have to enforce clear boundaries. If you don't have those boundaries there and you know exactly what focus tasks you need to focus on, you know these are the 3 things that I need to get done this week in order for me to get to hitting this $5,000 income goal by the end of this month. Say that's your goal, you know that. But if you lack boundaries, on Monday when you sit down to start your workday, your friend calls and say, hey, I just found out about this cool deal that's happening at such and such. It ends tomorrow. I'm going over there right now. Do you want to go? And too often that response is, oh my gosh, yes, that sounds amazing. Let's go. Because you haven't set any boundaries. Now, having boundaries set in place would say, my friends know that when you call me during these hours, I'm working. So 9 times out of 10, I'm not even going to answer your call. I love you, but I'm working. Having those boundaries, and not just with others, but with yourself, because they start with you. You have to get in a position of learning what it means to have healthy boundaries so that you actually create and develop what you want in your business during the time that you dedicated to that, so that time outside of that can be dedicated and honored for your family, for your friends, for your self-care. When you do not have boundaries, healthy boundaries, and building a business, everything else suffers. When you don't have healthy boundaries in your personal life, your business suffers. You can end that pendulum effect right now by starting to enforce real boundaries around your business and your life so that you get the privilege and the joy of building the life you want and leading a thriving, profitable brand. Because that's what we're here for, right? So let's get some boundaries in place. Sit down with yourself and ask yourself, where do you need to set boundaries? And let's get them going today. And of course, you can know all the things. You can know the values, you can know the tasks, you can know the boundaries. But all of that is just great information if you don't put it into action. And that's why step 4 is about disciplined action. And I don't mean just taking action like, oh my gosh, I had a great moment and I got that done. Hoorah. Yes, celebrate that. I'm with you. Those moments matter. But I'm talking disciplined action. It's the art of training yourself to be an action-driven person. The art of making sure that when you show up Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday in your business, whatever your work days are, that you are showing up and taking action, and you are training yourself to enforce those boundaries, to stay lasered in on those focus tasks, and to live into your values. When you train yourself for that kind of lifestyle, you actually can expedite your process. You actually can put yourself in a position to be able to live what you want right now. And as time goes on, all you do is expand what that looks like. Disciplined action is a necessity. Information with no action is just a great idea on print. That's it. So it is inevitable for you to create some disciplined action around these values, tasks, and boundaries for you to actually live into what you really desire. If you're going to handle all of this, it only happens when you take action. And when you take disciplined action, which means you're taking action repeatedly over time to stay in sync and alignment with the life that you really want, then you start to get the results that you desire. So if you want to see these things shift, then you got it here. This is how you can handle everything that's on your plate. When you walk through these 4 steps, you'll see yourself able to do everything in your life while building a business that you get to lead as CEO. And that's what it should be like. That's what your journey should look like. So get to work. Let's get this done. And hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Do you have any questions? I want to hear from you. What was your greatest takeaway from this video? I'll see you guys in the comments.